Is this me? This is me right here. These two.
But I have a
So
question.
the reason we're changing that to R40 is because it can't be built as R40? Is that why you're thinking that?
What's the question? What's the
No,
question?
it's just that it used to be R40, we're putting it back the way it used to be.
Why?
Corrected it, sorry, because there's nothing in our 40.
But did you just say that they were bad at what they were doing? So why are we going back if they were bad at it?
Yeah.
So just so everybody's on the same page, right? Whoever's going to talk, come to the podium. We're going to do it one at a time. So what was that young lady? What did she just say? Hang on 1 second. Okay. She going to
I
talk
have a
to
question, can you put it on the screen where everybody can see the map? Well, it wasn't up there.
Just check it. He's putting the map up so that everybody can see what they see. I didn't know we had it.
So is there any, so I'll move the map around as folks come up and have questions. I'll try and use my cursor to draw in to help provide a visual.
Phil, clearly you guys have done a lot of work, and I don't intend to hijack the meeting, but the group in the corner, we've already grabbed like 50 months.
I know exactly who they are. I spoke to Mr. Belch, who called on their behalf. And,
We are not understanding that in 2008, we were, what I feel is correctly, my name by the way, we were correctly zoned RP 80, made sense for our place where we are and how it all fits together. So going back to the R40 high density doesn't make sense because we managed to preserve that RP 80 configuration and have a lot going on in terms of conservation and everything. So it's concerning to me because it looks like you're opening the gate for development of that high density residential in a place that for 15, 20 years now has been contained and preserved as RPD. So we're having, all of us, we're having a little trouble digesting why we're zoned, what makes sense, we live where it makes sense, but this change to a high density grade, we can't understand what's going on. Go.
see, I do, but I don't.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's kind of difficult. I'm walking around.
Yes, we are.
What I could say is,
The dwellings are not in a floodplain.
say again?
The dwellings are not in a floodplain.
No, they're not.
But about 30% of our properties are.
Yes, they are.
And the steep cliffs. So you guys walked around that property before you did this?
We have.
That's the point.
We didn't walk around, but I know exactly what you have. What I can tell you is I am here for the same reason you are. My main objective is to preserve this township. If I can take a picture of it right now, when your kids' come through this town, I want it to look like it is today.
Right. Because that little 25 acres of that swath over there,
Yeah.
folks, we got fauna over there, we got flora we're preserving, we got bald eagles, we got hawks, we got water owls nesting in our area, not to mention all the other stuff that you guys see around here, like deer and so on and so forth. Not to mention the amount of flood zone that we have in this area
That's one.
constitutes about 8 to 10 acres. And if anything, just setting it up as R40 now, designated, might not, you guys are going to sit here and say, there's no plans, there's no plans to build there, right? No plans. But it sets the foundation for it to be on the docket list.
That is not good for that area.
I
You,
agree.
you will cause more issues, and Chris speaks to it and everything else, but you will cause more issues with the flooding on Perkiomen Creek downstream, if anybody was to do anything with that area.
Agree with everything you just said. And what I would also say is, I'm not sure where those areas are if they're not protected.
So then why change them to R4?
You're not.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're doing.
What's that?
I know exactly what I'm doing, and that's, I fully agree
Yeah,
with
where's
you.
the study? Where's the impact study on this? Look at it. Right.
Which impact study would you like me to do? I understand.
No, not you, not you.
No, no,
I'm
no.
just saying in general, to sit there and take an R80 and say that it's gonna be R40 without any type of impact study for the environment or anything is a stretch.
What I'm saying is, I know everything that's down there, and there are certain things that is protected. And would prevent development in certain areas like that. So I
Yeah,
know exactly. But that's kind of the bingo.
yeah, it needs to be protected.
They
Right?
need to
Is that what I'm
go-
saying?
I can't, go ahead. I think you're probably,
I'm just going to read a statement. So my name is Christopher Dunn. I live in that little enclave, 1924 Gravel Pike. So first, I want to comment on two things. One, first, a statement regarding proposed rezoning. There's two big inaccuracies on it. One around the high density definition, more than 4 dwellings per acre. Our properties are 6 on 25 acres, so right there, that's an incorrect definition. And then secondly, it further states that all changes from R8 to R4 there within Perkiomen Crossing, which we've just proven is not true. So two big inaccuracies in our statement. Second, at least 2 of us were told that this change from R80 to R40 was to make a number, which sounds like we've all agreed, right? So we're kind of in this little enclave as a throwaway. But there are unintended consequences, which is the study I just laid in front of you. It's a 2018 study that makes the very point that taking this arbitrary approach is going to lower property values. That 2018 study highlights, and I've highlighted this, the areas in the study, page 19, talks about a methodology that they used in the study, which results in Philadelphia, table 4, page 37, that there's a negative impact on property values as you move further away from Philadelphia. So the radius in that study is 30 miles. We're 40 miles from Philly. So you can infer that property values will continue to trend downward if these changes are made. Okay? The environmental impact, no question. The property value impact is not acceptable by this change. Okay? Those are your copies to read through. I've highlighted the relevant areas. So these are unintended consequences just to make a number. And to us, it's not acceptable. Thank you.
Good evening. I just have a quick clarifying question. My name is Mike Haggerty. I am the Executive Director of Frederick Township. Is anything on the map or anything that we are discussing tonight directly affecting that 70-acre campus with the residents on that?
Frederick Living Campus, or commercial business?
Okay, I didn't think so. I wanted to verify that. I didn't see anything. When I looked at it, I thought that was the case. I wanted to make sure that I was reading that correctly. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Got to back up unintended consequences. You said nothing's going to affect Frederick Living, but without sewer plant expansion or people tying in, what are you going to be able to afford to support the current sewer plants with no additional times?
Can I get your name for the minutes?
Sure, Jim.
Jim?
Herb.
Herb.
You operate sewer plants with no expansion, no tying, how do you sustain that? There's no, you're running a break even there, in fact, so you may have to kick in more to support the sewer?
Because right now, whoever doesn't tie into that sewer doesn't have to pay for it.
Right.
The system.
Correct. Currently, those people that are using it, they have to upkeep the system. Right. So without any additional times, how are you going to maintain the sewer plant the way it is? And the zoning, the R80 around the sewer plant, the R40 makes sense because you can expand the sewer system to potentially develop that. But now you're going to zone stuff R40 out in the corner where there is no sewer.
On that point, is Frederick Living's sewer plant that they run is being used, is that the sewer plant you're talking about?
Is that part of Ivy's?
Okay, Ivy Ridge,
Yeah.
their sewer plant down there can just handle what you guys got. So if you were to put some more buildings in there,
At one point, there was a plan for an expansion of the sewer plant down there in that land, but that went away. With the rezoning of all these properties, will the property values change?
So it's hard to answer
If you
that
have excess
question.
land, will the property value change?
It's hard to answer that question directly.
It will go down.
It depends on what was available, what could be there before and what's there now.
Currently,
I mean,
if
if
it's
you-
zoned R40, you can put 2 houses per acre, and R80, you can put 1 house per acre. Property value is down. That land has less value. Do you have a plan how much that's going to cost the rest of the taxpayers in the township? Because you have to make that up in the budget somewhere.
Well, we wouldn't have to make up for it in the budget because the budget right now has what's existing there today. The budget doesn't
But
include what
once
could be
you change
future.
the ordinance zoning, we can have the property reassessed and change our tax basis based on the lower value.
So a rezoning is not enough to trigger
I can request an assessment that,
it's not enough to trigger a reassessment of
not
property.
to trigger a reassessment, but I can challenge my assessment based on my new zoning.
Anybody can challenge their assessment at any
Exactly.
time.
Correct.
Yes,
So
if you want to do that.
If the large parcels along this where you're changing it, you have a group of people that don't want their change, you have other people that would rather keep it the way it is, but you're pushing to, because you don't want to spot zones, you're changing the whole district. And I don't understand the 14 comprehensive plan, the whole Route 73 corridor is growth, it's labeled as growth. Was there an update to that plan?
it's not labeled as residential growth. No.
It's labeled as growth, there's like a yellow highlight along 73. Was there an update to that plan from 14?
Was that the regional one?
No, the comprehensive plan?
I
Yeah,
know, but was it the regional
yeah,
comprehensive
original
plan?
comprehensive plan.
No, I believe the 2014 is still there.
So, in that, it says every 10 years, in the ordinance that was passed by the township back then, every 10 years you're supposed to review that plan. So why would you make a zoning change now before you review the plan?
This is your, it's what you're done. County, that's in process right now.
Right, so why would you make a zoning change now versus waiting till that plan comes out and meet with that plan?
Because then for the next 20 years, you have a map that's not right.
We
It's
worked
like
with
we've
the
been
county
working
to
for
get
that.
this.
Yeah,
to
the
put
county
this in.
supported
They're
it
the
along
ones
with
that-
our regional planning committee.
Right.
They supported it in what, like,
You want me
They've
to read it
actually
to
worked
you?
with us with the changes
I
that we
mean,
made.
when you passed the ordinance earlier this year, you said the county, they don't give you an opinion other than they point out things that, like your ordinance on the townhouses, your parking and everything is not relative to what the county typically sees. So you say they support it, but we haven't seen what they said.
Jim, we haven't run, but I want to get back to what you were saying about the sewer plant. If I have Mr. Darcy living next door, just because he's running at max capacity over there, I don't think I should make Frank help him alleviate his costs.
No,
He can tie into it.
My concern is that the number of units, as you expand the units, you can support the plant more. You have a limited number of units there, their cost is going to keep going through the roof. Or it's going to fall on the burden of the township to further support that if the cost comes too high.
Completely agree. That's why we'd like not to see as much development in this township.
Right, but
I
you
don't
need a
see
base.
why anybody in here would want.
You don't have enough units there to support it, you need a base to cover costs.
And that's what I keep trying to tell county, they should think about that before they make us put these things in, these little tiny communities with 1,500 homes where most people want to be rural.
So back to the comprehensive plan, why would you wait till, make this change as part of the new comprehensive plan?
Because county just changed their comprehensive plan to include this. They thought this was a great idea, wondering why it took us so long.
It says, and I'll read this is from the county. We sent this plan down to the county to be reviewed, for people to go over it. And this
Speak
is
up.
This is a response. Okay. In regards to the comprehensive plan from the county, this ordinance is consistent with the goals and objectives established in the county comprehensive plan, Montco 2040, a shared vision. Our comprehensive plan's future land use map component delineates the subject R40 and R60 zone parcels cited in Exhibit 18 as suburban residential areas. As stated in Montco 2040 plan, suburban residential areas are defined as residential areas with single-family detached homes, the primary. Regional comprehensive plan states the ordinance is consistent with Central Perkiomen Valley Regional Comprehensive Plan. This plan aims to develop a comprehensive vision for the region's various municipalities, including Frederick, Collegeville, Perkiomenville, Tratt, and Schwenksville. It seeks to protect the region's unique cultural, historical, and natural resources while developing new growth opportunities. Per section 1103A4 of Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, the comprehensive plans must accommodate all categories of users within the planned area. However, all uses need not be provided in every municipality, but shall be provided within a reasonable geographic area in the plan. We find that proposed revisions to the Upper Frederick zoning map meet regional objectives. The map shall continue to permit high-density residential uses in designated zoning districts and provide sufficient land within the township, thus meeting its fair share allocation. The township's comprehensive plan. Proposed modifications to the township zoning map are consistent with the goals and objectives outlined in the 2020 Upper Frederick Township Comprehensive Plan update. According to the regional plan, the majority of Upper Frederick Township is designated as a rural resource conservation area, and the township is not expected to allow high-density residential or non-residential development in these areas. Moreover, the regional comprehensive plan forms the basis for the township's future land use and zoning decisions. Recommendation, Montgomery County Planning Commission supports this proposal.
So I guess it would have been helpful to have that versus referring to the 14th plan in your letter that you sent it.
I didn't send the letter.
And unfortunately, we just got the county's letter today. They've had it for over a month, we just got it today, right before coming to the meeting. But we can definitely make it available on the township website if you would like to be able to read it yourself. We can absolutely post it on
That'd be
there.
good. And, yeah, I did send an email asking questions. I didn't get a response, so again, you may want to check into that.
So, Mr. Rhodes, my thing is this here, so along this corridor, everybody's talking about they want to keep Upper Frederick like this, it's open space, it's preserved land. There's nothing in place to preserve land here. So what we're having is,
There's how many acres of R80 throughout the township? There's lots of them. And there's currently no developments in application, so.
So that's what I heard in 2020 when I was running for office.
Yeah.
There's nothing coming, there's no taxes coming, there's no developments, there's no sewage. Go read the notes like I read the notes. There was sewage coming, it was supposed to run down to Perkiomenville Road. There's supposed to be these 3 developments coming. You're being told there's not. I knew otherwise. When I knocked on these doors, I talked to these people in here, everybody's like, Mr. Levin, this is how I want to keep it, just like it is today. We have a gem in Montgomery County. As far as county was concerned, we're the last like this. take a peek around, surrounding us, we are surrounded with development. So when I look at these pieces out here, developers salivating over this. They're salivating, they can't wait.
I mean, most of it that's getting rezoned, there isn't really developable land. There's only a few tracts within that, because there's large parcels with one house on them currently. So,
But they're subject for subdevelopment, aren't they?
right.
Well, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
I know.
That's what I would like to avoid.
And that's where you and many people have your own agenda. People that bought land there, knowing it's in an R40, they're the ones that are kind of taking it on their shoulders because, hey, now it's not developed. So,
Well, that's
where
usually just a
I can
developer.
go find, get it reassessed and get my taxes lowered, and we all can pay for that, so. That's
If
my
that's your
job.
prerogative, I'm here to help the community. I'm not here to hurt
No,
the
but you're
community.
here to help the community that wants to say that preserve. If there's a mix of smart development, where you have a mix of some development and some open space, that's how, some communities are, so.
So I'll say this, who here wants to develop?
nobody-
You gotta raise your hand. Who
Right.
wants to do it? I'm not
Nobody's saying
guessing.
they're
If everybody in this
right.
room today says, hey, Mr. Lehman, this is a terrible idea. Well, let's open this door for high density straight down there. And let's all get together eventually and pay for the sewage it's about to come
density for
for.
the past how many years?
So we're closing it.
That's the point. So if I own land, you say, tough, you can't make money on your land. You own your land.
But you want to build out houses on your land?
Wait, let's
Hang on a
not.
second.
One at a time.
Comments are directed up here,
Hey, look,
let's
yeah,
not
my
attack
point
each
is- My
other.
point isn't that. My point is someone's changing what I bought and what I changed. And it's like those people aren't happy that people are changing what they bought and what they picked. So I'm kind of voicing my other side of it. They have their own. Like, I'd rather keep my land R40 and let their land stay R80, but that doesn't work that way.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I
Can
totally-
Can I ask you a question, and I apologize, can you tell me what email address you sent your email to so we
The
can?
info, the one on the web, the info at whatever.
Okay, we will check into that, because I'm not sure why you did not get a response, but I will ask the township manager to look at that.
Thanks.
How much R40 land here?
Not enough to make anything, but
Okay, anybody else? Would you please, come on up, you can form a line if you want behind him. We want to hear from everybody who wants to talk.
Frank Dorsey, 3123 Big Road. My head's spinning on this, but I've been up here for 40-some years.
Can you speak up for me, please?
I've been up here for about 40-some years. We moved up here because it was open. I'm not in the best place, because I live right beside the township, trying to get out to go to work every morning. It's a disaster of everything coming down from, it's a disaster from everything coming down from Boyertown and all. And then all the constructions. You can't have a decent conversation with your wife or kids with motorcycles, the radios blaring on the motorcycles, tractor trailers and dump trucks with Jake brakes, cars just zooming. So I applaud that, this is the way I like it to stay. Unfortunately, I can't get up and move or whatever. And I probably could do something, but I don't want it. I'd like the open space. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Trevor Nevius. I live down on Huntsburg Road. I'm one of the homes that got proposed to be rezoned from the high density into the land preservation. Currently, my street only has like 5 houses on it. All those houses are roughly 2.5 to 3 acre lots.